The screech of tires, a bag of snacks scatters. Akari Tanaka is dead before she hits the ground. Her brother arrives too late. Ambulance lights paint the street red. The drunk driver speeds away. His license plate traced to a politician's son. The case is dropped. At the funeral, Tomoya doesn't cry. He doesn't speak. He just stares at her photo. He ties a white armband with her name. It will never leave his arm.
Tomoya, wait, you haven't practiced in weeks. Are you sure about this?
He doesn't answer. He drives the lane and leaps. The backboard shatters into glass. His teammates freeze. Tomoya hangs from the bent rim, face empty.
That's it, you're out, ejected, get off my court.
He lands without a word. Blood drips from his fingers. He doesn't notice.
Tomoya, you've been ejected from 3 games in a row. You're a danger on the court.
The suspension didn't stop him. He trained in the dark, driving his body past its limits. Newspapers called him the Berserker, a player with no fear and no mercy.
I don't recognize my own son. He hasn't spoken since the funeral. Tomoya, please. You're hurting yourself. At least tell me what you need.
He stared through her like she was a ghost, then walked past into his room.
I can't lose you too. I can't.
Behind his door, the armband with Akari's name never left his arm. It soaked up the blood from his knuckles. He punched the wall until the plaster cracked. The pain was the only thing that felt real. But nothing could fill the hollow where his heart used to be. The team limped into the semifinals. Tomoya's unstoppable force was the only reason they survived. His mother printed a list of therapists. He swept it off the table without a word.
He won't let anyone in, not even me.
Then the TV announced their semifinal opponent, Ryugasaki High, captained by Shinji Matsuda. The surname hit Tomoya like a thunderbolt. Matsuda, the same name as the driver. A news recap flashed the driver's photo. Caption, son of politician still free after fatal accident.
His nephew, the one who killed Akari.
Control. I have no need for control, only destruction.
He didn't answer. His red eyes locked on the screen, a silent promise forming.
The referee tossed the ball into the air, and Tomoya exploded upward, like something unleashed. Within 5 minutes, he had rammed into 2 opponents, shoving them to the floor with no apology.
When the gym closed, he punched concrete until his knuckles shredded. The pain was a compass pointing at Shinji.
Shinji Matsuda, you carry his blood, you'll pay for what your family took.
Later, he caught the ball on a fast break. He soared, and the rim buckled under his grip. The backboard shattered, shards raining onto the court. Players scrambled away, staring in terror.
Ejection. Out of the game now.
Tomoya walked off the court, not glancing back. The gym had gone silent, save for the crunch of glass under his shoes. No anger crossed his face, just the hollow stare of a boy who had lost everything. The next morning, the headlines read, "Rage Monster, the basketball berserker." The house stayed silent. Tomoya ignored the buzzing phone on his desk, its screen flickering with a dozen missed calls.
Tomoya, please, talk to me. I am your mother. I am losing you too.
They're right to fear me. Shinji Matsuda will learn what his family's sins have created.
The school called. They want you to see a therapist. You have to go, Tomoya, for Akari's sake.
Therapy won't bring her back. The only thing that makes sense is the game, and even that is twisted now.
The next morning, the school board met. Permanent suspension was on the table. Tomoya was now a liability. He didn't care. That night, he left the house with a basketball, heading to a rusted outdoor court.
They threatened to disown him, so he stopped arguing and started planning.
Every dribble feeds the rage. It's the only thing that hasn't abandoned me.
The boy who had lost everything now lived only for the next violent dunk, the next shattered backboard. A few days later, the suspension was lifted. Tomoya returned just in time for the semifinal draw. Their opponent, Seiju High, captained by Shinji Ito, a name that would soon burn through his mind. That night, a news alert flashed on his phone. Shinji Ito, nephew of hit-and-run driver who killed Akari.
The driver's blood runs in his veins. He's the same kind of monster.
Tomoya, your hand, there's so much blood. What have you done? I'm calling the hospital. This has to stop. I'm going to cancel his game registration.
I heard about Shinji. Whatever you're planning, leave it outside. This is just a game.
Just a game. He has no idea what this really is.
Tomoya turned away without a word, picked up a ball, and launched a shot that slammed the backboard. Coach watched him, a cold dread creeping into his chest. The monster was narrowing its sights.
But the silence in his room answered. The real Akari was gone. Only the phantom remained. While Tomoya wrestled phantoms in his room, the Matsuda mansion became a battlefield.
At that moment, in a cold prison booth, Shinji faced the man who had destroyed 2 families.
You killed a little girl, and your family shielded you, but I won't. Not anymore.
He remembered the old family photo. His uncle's arm around him, a mask hiding a murderer.
This is the only way to make things right. I have to be the one to end this.
He collected the police report, the confession letter, the photo, a damning envelope.
They took his phone, his car keys, every privilege stripped in an instant. In his room, Shinji packed a single bag. The manila envelope went in last, pressed against his chest.
This is the only way to honor Akari, and maybe to save Tomoya's soul.
He walked out the iron gates into the cold night. The stadium was 20 miles away. He would not stop. The night before the game, Tomoya found a rusted outdoor court. No lights, no rules, just him and the ghosts. He launched from the foul line. The dunk bent the metal pole with a scream of tearing steel.
Not my enemy? His uncle killed Akari.
Tomoya, stop. Your hands, they're destroyed.
He stood motionless under the shattered hoop, blood dripping onto the concrete.
Inside were police reports, a confession letter, a mugshot of the man who had shattered his world.
This can't be. He's not covering for him. He's been fighting this alone.
I am sorry for everything my family did. I want him to face justice, no matter the cost.
Tomoya walked into the shadows without looking back, the white armband the only light on him. His body was a ruined temple, but inside, the Berserker roared louder than ever. Game day, the stadium vibrated with a dark energy. Chants of Berserker and Bloodline clashed in the air. Shinji led his team onto the court, the manila envelope tucked deep in his bag. The crowd's roar was a wall of noise. In the locker room, Tomoya's coach grabbed his shoulder. Don't throw this season away, play smart.
I don't care what you feel about the Matsudas. If you lose control again, we lose everything.
Tomoya pulled the armband tight over his bandaged knuckles. The bloodstains spoke for him. Across the stadium, Shinji's bag rested on the bench. The evidence inside was heavier than any basketball. The captains met at center court. Tomoya's red eyes empty, blazing, locked onto Shinji's calm, unblinking gaze. The arena held its breath. Television cameras zoomed in, hungry for a brawl. The referee lifted the ball. Shinji's expression didn't waver. Tomoya's aura pulsed like a heartbeat. The whistle screamed, the ball rose, 2 fates collided in midair. A technical malfunction screeched through the speakers. The game stalled before it could truly begin. Shinji moved through the back halls, separating from his team. The manila envelope was afire in his hands. He knocked on the rival locker room door. Unthinkable. The room went silent.
Tomoya Tanaka, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to give you the truth. Your rage belongs to my family's sin, but I've turned against my own blood. This is my uncle's confession.
He pressed the envelope into Tomoya's hands, the weight of a dead girl's justice. Tomoya's fingers, torn and bandaged, trembled. For the first time, emptiness cracked.
I was disowned for this, but it's the only way I can face myself. Use it. Win this game without the monster.
Shinji left without waiting for an answer. The door clicked shut, leaving Tomoya alone with the proof. His red eyes stared down at Akari's name on the report. The berserker inside him wavered for the first time.
He's different today. Quiet, but the edge is gone.
His team won possession, but Tomoya's movements were slow, mechanical. The fire was missing.
No crashing, no violence, just basketball.
An easy pass slipped through his fingers. The opposing guard snatched it and scored. Tomoya didn't react.
His teammates stared, stunned by the pass. Tomoya was playing like a real point guard. On defense, he moved his feet, arms straight, contesting without a single foul. The first quarter buzzer sounded. Tomoya walked to the bench, sweat beading but no shattered glass.
It's working, but it's like holding back a storm with bare hands.
Tomoya sank onto the bench, head bowed. The manila envelope peeked from his bag, a silent accusation.
Early in the second quarter, Tomoya drove to the hoop. A hard elbow smashed into his ribs, sending him crashing to the hardwood.
The rage exploded. His vision swam in crimson, the old hunger for violence clawing at his control.
The words hit him like a fist. Akari Tanaka, age 12, deceased due to blunt force trauma.
But the armband pressed against his skin. Akari's name. He forced his lungs to fill.
The whistle screeched. Referee signaled flagrant. Tomoya stayed down, chest heaving, before pushing himself up. He stood, the aura gone. Then he extended his hand to the fallen defender, palm open.
For you.
Across the court, Shinji's guarded expression cracked with the faintest nod of respect.
This is what she wanted. Not rage, just the game.
The second half court lights bathed him in white. His red eyes were focused, no longer empty.
Tomoya opened the third quarter with a cross-court pass that threaded 3 defenders. A laser to the corner. He followed it with a steal at half court, sprinting alone and finishing with a gentle finger roll. Then a pull-up jumper from the elbow. Then a drive and kick for an assist. Everything surgical, nothing wild.
He's not the same player. This isn't rage. This is mastery.
By the end of the quarter, Tomoya had poured in 15 points. The deficit had vanished.
Shinji shoved his teammate aside, stepping between them. His voice cut through the roar.
1 quarter left. Trust each other. We've come this far together.
As the horn sounded, Shinji watched from his bench, the evidence file's weight still echoing in his chest.
Tomoya's red aura pulsed, then wavered. His grip relaxed as he met Shinji's eyes, determined, not defiant.
He defended me just like he said he would.
The fourth quarter clawed on, every possession a war. With 50 seconds left, the score was still tied. Seijo inbounded the ball. Shinji held it at the top, eyes scanning. Tomoya crouched, reading his every twitch. Then Shinji passed. Tomoya lunged, fingertips grazing leather. He poked it free and exploded the other way. The crowd rose, a roaring wall of sound. Tomoya crossed half court, the clock draining.
This is for you, Akari. Not out of rage, out of love.
He saw the armband. White bloodstained her name. No red aura flared, only icy focus.
The ball swished through the net as the backboard lights blazed red. The buzzer screamed. His teammates engulfed him, a pile of jubilant bodies. No shattered glass, no blood, only joy.
He truly changed. The Berserker is gone.
As he turned, Tomoya caught Shinji's eye across the court. No words, just a mutual nod of respect.
The celebration blurred around him. Tomoya's eyes found Shinji, standing alone at the far baseline. He walked, the crowd parting like water. The stadium noise faded into a dull hum.
He's coming. What can I possibly say?
3 defenders collapsed on him, a wall of blue and white. They expected the dunk of the Berserker.
Without a word, he opened his arms. Shinji hesitated, then stepped forward. They embraced, a crushing hold that said everything and nothing. No sound, just a shared tremor.
His teammate rose, the buzzer screamed. The ball traced a perfect parabola against the lights. Swish, the net barely rustled. The arena exploded, a delayed, deafening roar. Teammates mobbed the shooter, but Tomoya stood motionless at the arc, eyes locked on a different target.
Tomoya nodded once. Shinji nodded back. The feud was over. Something deeper had just begun. A week drifted past in a quiet haze. Tomoya sat by the window, the armband still around his bicep, the roar of the crowd, a distant memory.
Tomoya, turn on the television. They caught him. Shinji's evidence worked.
Shinji rose from his bench, his own eyes glistening. He met Tomoya at midcourt without hesitation.
That man, the one who took her, he's finally going to pay.
The handcuffs clicked on screen. Tomoya's breath hitched. Something long frozen cracked inside his chest.
Tomoya opened his arms. Shinji stepped in and they embraced, a tight, silent hold.
He collapsed into her arms, a sound escaping him that was half sob, half sigh. Tears, hot and liberating, streamed down.
Akari, I am sorry I couldn't protect you, but maybe this is a start.
For the first time since that terrible day, he let the grief pour out. Not as rage, but as sorrow. His mother held him, silent, as the weight he had carried alone finally began to lift. The rain began as he walked through the cemetery gates, a soft gray veil that hid the world. He knelt before the small headstone, the engraving of her name already blurred by droplets. Slowly, he untied the white armband, the fabric still warm from his skin. He laid it across the stone, the letters Akari, facing up toward the weeping sky.
Tomoya's mother clasped her hands, tears already forming. Finally, she whispered, finally.
His voice cracked, barely a whisper under the rain.
But Shinji, he made it right. He's not the enemy. I see that now.
The rain began to ease, as if the heavens themselves were listening. A single shaft of sunlight pierced the clouds, falling directly on the armband.
It's over, Akari. I'll play for you, not in anger, in love.
After class, Tomoya found the coach in the empty gym, the championship banner hanging overhead.
Coach, I have a favor to ask. Something for the memorial.
Of course. What do you need?
Then he untied the white armband, stained with his own blood and 6 months of silent grief. He laid it over the stone.
This jersey carried so much rage. Now it's time to let it rest in a better place.
Together, they placed it inside the glass display, right next to a framed photo of a smiling Akari. The armband wasn't there. It belonged at the grave, but the photo and jersey spoke volumes. Tomoya stepped back, a genuine, small smile touching his lips. The monster was truly gone. He walked down the hallway, the afternoon light streaming through the windows, casting his long shadow behind.
The armband caught the wind, its white fabric fluttering against the stone, but it did not lift away. It would stay.
The jersey rested in the glass case, a quiet monument to a war that had ended, on an outdoor court at sunset. Tomoya dribbled with old friends, laughter ringing beneath the orange sky.
This is how she would have wanted me to play, with a free heart.
A small bronze plaque at the base read, "For Akari, our eternal fan." The gym fell silent.
I'll carry your memory too, Akari, I promise.
The photo taped to the backboard in the gym fluttered in the breeze of an open door. The memorial case gleamed each morning, light a quiet homage to her life. And from every corner, Akari's smile shone, eternal and full of love. The boy who had been a monster stood in the fading sun, his rage replaced by grace. After his sister died, his rage awakened a berserker. But her love shattered all the darkness. The gymnasium stood empty, the roar of the crowd now a ghost lost in the rafters.
Days later, a local newspaper landed on the Tanaka doorstep. The front page featured a photo of Tomoya and Shinji's embrace.
A janitor wheeled his cart near, stopping to wipe the glass with a careful, practiced hand. He read the plaque, then glanced at the photo. A small nod, and he returned to his work. Akari's framed smile beamed out, a snapshot of pure joy frozen in time. The glass seemed to dissolve, leaving only her bright eyes and the echo of a brother's vow. The gym lights dimmed, one by one, until only the security lamp above the case remained. The quiet was complete, a sacred stillness that held all the tears and all the healing.
There it is, that smile. Welcome back, son.
And in that darkness, Akari's light still shone, a promise that love never shatters. The first gray light of morning crept over the cemetery, softening the shadows that had held so much grief.
Months later, an outdoor court hummed with laughter. Tomoya played not for rage, but for joy.
I can remember you without the fire now. You are just here.
A black bracelet replaced the armband on his wrist, engraved with Akari in silver.
He rose and walked toward the school, the path familiar, but the weight he carried had transformed. The gym was empty, the court silent. The backboard stood whole. No cracks, no shattering. A lone basketball rested at center court, waiting. Not for rage, but for the next game that would be played in love. Tomoya stepped to the free throw line and closed his eyes. He could almost feel her hand on his shoulder. The boy who once shattered everything had finally learned to keep his heart intact, and in that stillness, a whisper seemed to ripple through the sunlight. Some bonds are never broken. Summer arrived, and the school settled into a quiet peace, the tragedy now a gentle scar that had healed into memory.
The gymnasium stood empty, afternoon light painting long rectangles on the polished floor.
Tomoya walked the halls, no longer avoided, but greeted with nods of understanding from those who had witnessed his journey. On the outdoor court, he played now for the simple joy of it, the ball swishing, his laughter easy. His hands, once clenched into weapons, were now open, passing the ball with a generosity that mirrored his healing heart.
Every shot I take now, Akari, is a thank you for teaching me to love again.
The cemetery path, once a road of despair, had become a place where he could sit and remember without breaking. Her photo still smiled from the gym wall, a beacon that guided not only Tomoya, but all who saw it.
Outside, life continued. Inside, a legacy waited for the next boy who would learn that rage could be shattered by love.
For Akari's legacy was not in the glass that broke, but in the love that held him and would hold him forever.